Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Local Business Show. My name's Leanne Peard, your host, and on today's show, I have an amazing guest, a local business from Cairns, to share with you all about meditation. So I'm not going to tell you too much about him, but before I do introduce him, I just would like to again mention our sponsors. In order to have this show a success, we have our local companies that are sponsoring us, and that is Zeneco Carpet Cleaning Services, Cairns Cheapest Cars, and Savvy Hair by Design on Mulgrove Road. These three businesses have supported the local business show, so I can support you in getting your brand and your message out there. So thank you to those three amazing businesses. So this morning, my guest is Richard Stoyles. Richard started to find his path in 1984 when he started to learn about meditation. He spent 10 years discovering his craft or mastering his craft, and then eventually developed his own meditation system. So Richard teaches open eye meditation. Now, I'm sure that Richard is going to explain to us what that is and the benefits of meditation. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce to you Richard Stoyles. Should be popping up on the screen in about 5 seconds. Here we go. Morning, Richard.
Good morning, Leanne.
How are you today?
Oh, it's been a great morning so far. It's crisp and it's nice, and we're in winter, so it's lovely.
It
And
is
I'm
a
in,
bit chilly.
yeah. But that's nice because we're up here and it's actually quite warm everywhere compared to everywhere else. But
That's right.
we're enjoying the winter here. Yeah,
That's right. We are lucky. We actually are having a winter, which is beautiful.
yeah. It is actually very, very
So,
nice, and hopefully it's a bit longer.
yes. So, Richard, tell us about your journey in finding your path or discovering your craft or mastering the craft. How did all that happen?
Well, what I've discovered is there's various many people have various different things going on for them, and each person has a speciality, and each person has a purpose in life. And oftentimes, when you're young, you don't know what that is, and you're trying to figure out how to find it and what to do. And oftentimes, it's about going on and experimenting with life and experimenting with this and that and everything else. And other times, it's not about experimenting. Other times, it's about allowing things to come to you. And
Mm.
so what happened to me was when I was 24, it came to me. And I just finished being over in Port Hedland and doing a hotel management degree. And then I'd just come back and I was sitting in my mother's lounge room. And all of a sudden I had a feeling that I needed to start doing meditation. And so what I did is I started having, because I'm a little bit psychic, and a lot of people are, but some people aren't, but you can develop it if you want to. But because I had that ability coming through, I had a feeling that I needed to do something. And so what I started doing was I started looking up the yellow pages to figure out what meditation to do. And so I knew I had to do an open eye type of meditation, and I knew what it looked like, and I also knew what I had to do. And so then I asked particular questions of particular yoga organizations because I knew it was yoga based. And so after about searching for about 2 or 3 hours, I found a group that did what I wanted to do. And then I found myself going onto my path. And it was interesting because I wasn't sure that I was on it. But after being on it for a little bit, it sort of really gelled with me. And then I figured that this is my path. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes you're on your path and you don't know you're on. And then you figure out later that you are. You're probably familiar with that yourself.
Yes, and then many of us aren't sure what that is, and we do go on a road of self-discovery and so many other opportunities, or I suppose the foundation is being created as we move forward and then we discover it.
Yeah, exactly. And so what happened for me is as I was going along, I found it particularly easy. And then I found over time my psychic abilities got better. And I also found my healing abilities kicked in. And then I started being a healer. Then I started also being a meditator. And then I also started being a coach, and then I also started being a psychic counselor. And so all of these things came one after the other, and they developed over time. And so, but the first thing that developed was the meditation, and open eye. And I had to figure out what open eye was. And when I first learned the technique, it was a very interesting technique, but it was very etheric, and not a lot of people could understand it because it was all very picturesque. It was all very visual, and you had to be kind of a visual person to get there. And so what I realized was there's a lot of people who need this who aren't necessarily visual, who won't get it. And so therefore I had to develop a new technique which could go across the board so everyone could understand it. And so over time I began to be able to understand what to do and how to do it, and then how to let other people know how to do it, and then teach them, and it became very easy. And so that's the process of how it developed. Now, open eye meditation itself, do you want to know about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've heard of it. I've never experienced it personally. So I'd love to hear what it is.
So open eye meditation is very interesting in itself because there's two parts of us. There's the being side of us and there's the human side of us, right? And so most of us know about the human side of us. We're very familiar with that, but not many people know about the being side of us. And so when we look at the being side of us, then what's it made of? That's the first question, because we know what the body's made of, but what's the being side of us made of? And then when we actually look at how we work, we know how the physical body works, but how do we work? On the being side, we know we think, we know we feel, we know we do all of that. Is that the being side of the equation, or is that the human side of the equation? We get confused. And so many people are like that, they're not sure. And so then we have to find clarity and figure it out and how it works. And so when you actually start to understand the being side and the human side, they're actually quite separate, but they actually work together. And so when you step onto the being side of the equation, then the being side of the equation, what are we made of? We're made of light energy. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and a lot of people do. But when we say we're made of light energy, what does that mean? What does that look like? How does that feel? And so the question is, how do you step into the light being or the light body? How do you get there? And so one thing that occurred to me over time was, how do you step into your light body in a very easy way, in a very practical way, so it becomes easy, so it's not this etheric kind of thing. And so one thing I discovered was that if you connect the outer of the body, you step into your light body. And so you feel your hands, you feel your feet, and you feel the top of your head. And then you step into your light body and it feels different. It's quite fascinating. You want to try that?
Probably not right now, but yeah, I'd definitely love to hear how people get to learn this skill from you. Unless will it take very long?
Oh, it'll probably take a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, let's give it a go then. I thought it might take 20 minutes or so, and I was thinking, well, that won't be very exciting for our viewers, but let's do it.
So if the viewers are watching, then what they can do is they can feel their hands. And so you put your mind into your hands, just become aware of your hands.
So we keep our eyes open?
Your eyes are open because what we do here is we have a whole lot of tools that you use whilst you're moving around. And this is one of the things you can use whilst you're moving around. And so one of the things to do is, with everything we teach, you can use it in your everyday and active life. And so therefore we do it with our eyes open. And okay. So we feel our hands and we just become aware of our hands. Your hands might start to tingle. And then you become aware of your feet, and you become aware of your feet either on the ground or wherever they are, and you just become aware of them where they are, and you can feel them, right? And then you feel the top of your head. So you might have to tap the top of your head just to be familiar. We often don't feel the top of our head. And so once you can feel the top of your head, and then you feel your hands, and then you feel your feet, then you have to feel them all three at once. And so it's a really interesting concentration exercise. So you feel your feet, you feel your hands, and you feel the top of your head all at the same time. And then when that starts to happen, you'll feel your energy change. And you feel a surging of energy, or you just feel different. And so it takes a bit of concentration. So feel your hands, Now bring your feet on at the same time as you're feeling your hands. And then bring your head on at the same time as you're feeling your hands and your feet. And then you'll feel a change in your energy. You can feel it, can't you?
Yeah, I can. It took a minute. It took a bit to get that whole sequence together, but once the three connected, yeah, that was pretty powerful.
Yeah, I could see it. It was quite different. And so therefore, that's how you step into your light body. And so therefore, you now have a choice of which body you want to be in. You can be either in your physical body or you can be in your light body. And so this is the beginning. This is step one. And there's many, many steps. And but this is the first step, is to be able to choose which light body you want to be in, your physical one or your light one. And if you're sitting in...
Sorry.
Go on.
I was just going to say, what's the benefit? So, because some people, myself included, I get very ungrounded. So I spend a lot of my time not grounded and up there. So what's the benefit of being in your light body? Do you still have to be grounded, or, yeah, what's the benefit?
Well, when you step into your light body, you felt different, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You probably would have noticed that your mind slowed down as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so therefore you felt clearer. And you felt lighter. And you're going to feel more grounded as well. Because what happens in your light body works with your physical body. And so therefore you're working together, but you're actually now in truth, because you're working together with your physical body and you're aware of yourself as a light body. And that's what truth is, right? And so, but we forget, most people have forgotten that they're a light being, and they forget that they can work with their body, but they think they are their body. And so they never step into the light body because they don't know they have one.
Yeah.
And so they can step into their light body and work with their physical body, and everything becomes clearer, easier, and more silent. The next step is to change your form, because as a light being, you can change form from a body to a point. And when you change into a point, your mind becomes totally silent, and it surrenders to you, and it becomes completely under your control and will not do anything unless you ask it whilst you're in that state. It's quite an amazing process. That's step number 2. And then from there, we introduce you a whole lot of tools which you use in your everyday life to make your life amazing. And so it's a whole process of making your life exceptional. But this is the first 2 steps.
So could you do the first step in everyday life, like, just having that conscious awareness of the 3 points that you shared?
That's right. You can do that anytime. And once you've done it a few times, you just remember the feeling and you're going through feeling. And then once you're in your light body, you can it's amazing how amazing it feels and how easy your life becomes when you're in it. And then you can either step in your light body or physical body, whatever it might be, or even if you need to be in your light body, because you can, and you just want to feel lighter and you want to feel more powerful and you want to feel this, that, and everything else that the light body brings, you just do it. And you can be anywhere and do it. You can be doing it right now if you knew how, and you were very practiced that you could be doing it right now, because it becomes part of your everyday life, and then you just work it in your everyday life, and you start spending more and more time in your light body and working with your physical body, and then you flick between the two as is needed. And then
fantastic.
Then in point form, if you actually need silence, completely silent, and you need to recharge because you had enough of your mind running, then you just go into point and you stay silent for a minute, 5 minutes, whatever you like, and then you go on with your day, and you keep recharging yourself and topping up.
Fantastic. It's so powerful.
It is. And once you get good at it, you can just go into point in 1 second, pull power, and you can pull power for a minute and then keep going. And that's how it goes. And you have to get good at it, though. It's like anything, it takes practice.
Yeah, it does. And let's talk about that quickly, Richard, because I think, meditation 20 years ago was something where people possibly didn't see the benefits or understood the benefits, but now it's more in vogue where, people will go and, try to do meditation or learn meditation. So what are the actual, I mean, I know from my own experience what benefits it's given me, and there are different types of meditation, but what are the benefits from actually meditating, even if it is only for 5 minutes a day?
It depends which type you're doing, because each meditation has a specific purpose. With the open eye meditation, the benefits are massive. First of all, there's silence, there's clarity, there's power. You transform difficult situations into easy situations in your own life. And you also have a various numbers of tools that you can use in your own life just to make sure your day runs the way you want it to run. And that works out really well as well. And so there's lots of benefits in there. But the main one people would get straight away is silence. The mind becomes silent and still with the technique I use. Now, with a closed eye meditation, it's a very different affair, because with closed eye meditation, it takes a lot longer, because you have to sit down, you have to close your eyes, you have to go into the experience, and then you have to allow your mind to slow down. And you either do it through chanting or you do it through watching the breath or whatever it might be. And whatever technique you're using, and you get the benefit, but it takes time, as you probably know yourself. And so
sorry, I just had a quick question. So when you're doing your open eye meditation, does your brain still drop into the alpha state?
It goes deeper. It goes into the, yeah. And so when you become totally silent, it goes straight from alpha to beta. But if you're in light body, you go to alpha.
Okay.
And you can operate in alpha most of the time if you want.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because with the open eye technique, you can actually, it's not even meditation anymore, it's states of mind. And so as you're walking around, you go into different states of mind. Light body is a state of mind, right? Point is a state of mind. And then you get the effects of that. And so when you become aware of that states of mind as you're moving around, then you realize that you can actually have whatever state of mind you wish at any point in time. And there's many you can have whilst you're walking around and doing your thing. And if you're in a meeting, you can have a particular state of mind in a meeting. You can decide that if I'm going into a meeting and I want to be in harmony with everyone, then I'm going to have a state of mind where I'm in harmony with everyone. I'm going to have an attitude that follows with that, right? If you're going to meet someone where you've had conflict with, then you can decide that I'm going to have a state of mind which is cooperative, and we're going to try and sort this out and have a harmonious experience at the end, but it will be sorted out in the meantime. And so you can go in with the state of mind that everything's going to be sorted out, right? Otherwise, you can determine what state of mind you want, and wherever you go, whatever you're doing. And so there's such a variety of situations going on in everyday life that you need a variety of states of mind to go with it.
Perfect. So Richard, how do people, what do you do? So if somebody is watching this either live or on the replay, how do they get in contact with you? Or you've got classes running? Do you do it online?
We're not online at the moment. We're trying to get online. That's one thing we're endeavouring to do. If they want to contact me, they can either contact me through the phone number, or they can contact me through email, or they can contact me through Messenger or Facebook if they want to. Probably the easiest thing is the phone number. That's probably the easiest way to go.
What's your phone number, Richard? I'll pop it up here on the screen.
It's 0411
Yep.
717
Yep.
453.
Yeah.
They can call me that on any time, or they can message me and I'll get back to them. And we're having a beginner's class on Monday, and we'll be doing that for the next few Mondays. So if people want to join in that, they can. They just need to text me and or phone me and book in.
And that's being held whereabouts? At your studio?
Yeah, at the studio. And it's, do you want the address?
Oh, no, they can text you to find out. Yeah.
Yeah. They can. It's held at the studio. And when they ring me, I'll give them the address, and they can come here on the Monday at 7 p.m. and we'll start off. And if they can't make 7 p.m., then we can make another time and work with them that way. And we can do
Perfect.
it. Yeah. And so people ask me what I do, and often they don't know what I do. But meditation is the first step in to get you going in the right direction. Now, I'm also a psychic counselor, which means that when someone comes into my space and I start talking to them, I start to pick up what the issues are. And then the second thing I pick up is what the blocks are. And the third thing I pick up is what the solution is. And then I know what that is. And then my job that'll happen in about 5 to 10 minutes. And then my job is to get them from where they are through the blocks to the solution. And that's what a psychic counselor does. And so I also do that. And that's
Can you do that? Does it have to be face to face, or can you pick the energy up, through, say, Facebook Live or something like this?
You could definitely do that, and you can definitely do it through Skype and things like that. Yeah, most definitely.
Because I had an idea for you. I was thinking, why aren't you doing that on a Facebook Live and getting people into Facebook Live with you and helping them that way?
That's one thing that could happen if people are happy to be public about it. Yes, if they want to be public about it, that's a different issue.
Oh, for sure. Well, then they can go and have a one-on-one. But yeah.
So that could be done. That would take about a half an hour to do, something like that. And so that would work on Facebook Live.
Because I have a friend that I gave a very similar idea to. She does tarot card readings, and I said to her, instead of sitting there holding the card up, telling everybody what the card meant, why don't you do like impromptu readings for people that comment on your Facebook Live? And it's just exploded for her. So the same thing could happen for you as well.
Yeah, that's possible. And I could definitely do that. And it ends up being a bit like a reading anyway, because you're talking to someone and you're reading them anyway. So it's a bit like but you're not using cards. You just you go. So it's a bit different, because when people do readings, they like cards because I think the card's doing it instead of the person picking it up. And it's actually
That's a tool.
Yeah, it's worth a while. It's worth a go, isn't it?
Yeah.
See how that goes. Yeah, because I do readings as well, but that's not my big thing. I do card readings when people want them, because it just comes with the territory, as you probably know. And but anyway, they're the main two things I do. I teach meditation. I do psychic counselling.
Cool.
Yeah. And so it's a joy to watch people come in and then get the techniques, then apply it to their lives and see their lives change.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's always nice to see somebody's life move into that better space for them.
Oh, it's wonderful. And so what we want to do is we're going to have we want to do a retreat sometime soon, probably in the next month or two. And we want to do a retreat so people can come and spend some quality time and for a day and a half and really do an immersion. And so we're looking at doing that too. So if anyone's interested in that retreat that we're thinking of in the next month or month and a half, they can also call me and we'll actually put them on a list.
Brilliant. Well, the phone number is still up on the screen, so everybody can see that. If you're watching the replay, the phone number is there to get in contact with Richard about the free meditation beginners classes, and also about, getting your services either one-on-one with psychic counselling and or interested in going to the retreat.
Exactly. So
awesome.
It's a fascinating area, isn't it?
Sorry?
A fascinating area.
Oh, look, I can't. If my mother says to me all the time, if you weren't doing what you were doing, I would find you on the top of a Tibetan mountain somewhere meditating all day, every day. And I said, that is so true. That's what I would just love to do. But there's a thing called life that we have to actually turn up for. So let's put the meditation into the life.
I can see that in you. That's awesome, because you got that so quick when you did the hands, feet, top of the head. You're very good at it.
Yeah, I love meditating. It's actually, there's been times in my life that I didn't know what meditation was, but I knew I needed to do something because my brain was about to explode. And I just got hooked on it, Richard, because it's just it just changes everything. It changes your body, it changes your cells, it changes everything. So
that's it. And for those who have never done meditation before and who are a bit skeptical, I'll put out a challenge to them. I can get them meditating within 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll be stunned.
So I must share. Hang on, I'll just put that. I'll just put that up on the screen. So I've got to share to all the ladies that might be a little bit skeptical. A second subsidiary reason that I started meditating was once I started, one of my teachers said to me, "Oh, if you actually meditate, you'll look 10 to 15 years younger." And I was like 30 then. And so I thought, well, that's great because by the time I get 40, I'm going to look like I'm 30 and so on. So ladies, if nothing else, start meditating because you will look younger.
It does actually do that, because one thing I find that when you start meditating is, like, if I haven't been meditating for a little bit because for some reason I've been distracted, and let's say just a couple of days or a week maybe, then I notice I get messier. Then I notice I'm a bit more disorganized and all these sorts of things start happening. Then when I meditate, even just if I sit down for an hour and just meditate for an hour, the first thing I do is I start cleaning everything up and getting organized, making everything spruced up again. And it's just automatic. It's just amazing what happens. And so internally, the same thing's happening. You're doing a reorganization and you're sprucing yourself up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome.
Yeah.
So Richard, is there anything that you would like to share that I haven't covered today before we finalize the show?
That's pretty much what I wanted to cover. We could go through a whole lot of tools and stuff like that, but we don't have time for that. And we can do that when they come here, and we can show them all the tools. We've got about 50 different tools that we introduce to people. We've got the 10 basic ones we introduced them when they first come here, and those 10 make a huge difference in their lives.
Awesome. Well, I've just popped up your Facebook page, Camarunga Meditation Centre, so people can see what it looks like, your cover on the screen here with us. So pop over and make sure that you like Richard's page as well. If you missed the phone number, I'll just pop the phone number back up there again. So there's the phone number. If you pop over and like Richard's page, and you could message him through his business page or at the phone number which is listed there below us here.
Well, perhaps we could do something together, and we could do a business meditation thing together.
Cool. Well, let's talk about that and see what that looks like.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And
business people need it.
Yeah, they do. And one of the things we're thinking of doing is going into businesses to do cultural change, because we know how to bring that about through the meditation process. But because we use a whole lot of tools, whole lot of tools that we teach could be used in business as well.
Very good. Stress relief, relax, absolutely. Yes, focus.
It'd be great to talk to you about that.
Awesome. All right, Richard, thank you so much for, that's it for us today. So thank you so much for joining us on the Local Business Show. I'm just going to put you back down while I just finalize this, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Leanne. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks. So there you go. That was Richard Stoyles. He's from Camarunga Meditation Centre here in Cairns, and we were chatting about meditation, and in particular the use of the open eye meditation, which I just experienced, and the energy was absolutely amazing. So the Facebook page for Richard is there to my left, no, the other left, that way. Over this way, the Facebook page, just go over there and type in Camarunga Meditation Centre and you'll find Richard's page. Oh, that's a big pointer that just popped up there for me. And you can get in contact with Richard. So again, thanks to my local businesses for supporting us. And in particular, I need to mention our sponsors, which are Zenico Cleaning, Carpet Cleaning Services, Savvy Hair and Makeup, and Cairns Cheapest Cars. So support those local businesses as well as the local businesses that we have in our area, because when we buy local, we support our economy, and our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will have a beautiful place to live. So thanks again for joining me. My name's Leanne Peard, your local business show host. If you would like to be on the show, please just send me a message through this page or personally, and we'll organise you to be showcasing your business on the show. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a brilliant week. Ciao for now.